Welcome to a new episode of the Cut Corner of Counter-Strike. Today we are going to take a look at a machine gun that was cut from the Counter-Strike series, the M60. Also today, for the first time, we are going to have a guest speaker on the show.
Hello everyone, Zegan Ficker or Little Bad is here.
Thank you for joining us. Since cut content from Condition Zero is one of your favorite topics of research, I'll just leave the stage to you.
So let's start up at the very beginning of Condition Zero's development cycle. As a defunct Rogue Entertainment was working on Counter-Strike Condition Zero back in 2001, among their list of weapons and equipment to be introduced was the M60. According to Computer Gaming World magazine's description of the device, issue 204, page 54, it was to have damage and ammunition capacity that were close to the M249, albeit with an increased firing rate. Speculation, this would lead to believe that the weapon would be more expensive than the lesser M249. It was to be CT exclusive. No other information was given about Rogue's iteration of the weapon. As Gearbox Software took over the development, a few of Rogue's concepts and ideas were preserved. Among them was the implementation of the M60 as a fully functional weapon. The M60 made several appearances in both trailers and interviews with Randy Pitchford. The weapon had shifted from being CT exclusive to being available to both sides, in addition of massively increased accuracy while stationary, offering massive suppressing power. Sadly, as Gearbox Software's work was passed on to Ritual Entertainment, this iteration never saw the light of day, and preview footage aside, its only remnants are HUD and kill icons located in Counter-Strike 1.6 game files. With Ritual Entertainment taking over the development of the game in 2002, most of Gearbox Software's work would be stripped down to a single-player focused experience. With the many differences this iteration of the game had with the previous one, the M60 was one of the few lucky survivors of the cut. The M60 here is pretty much a power weapon at the expense of accuracy, and can be used by the players in 4 missions and is often used by enemy machine gunners and bosses. And this was the only incarnation of the weapon we got to play with. Even with Ritual Entertainment passing its work to Turtle Rock Studios in 2003, their game would eventually become what is known today as Counter-Strike Condition Zero Deleted Scenes, a single-player expansion pack to Condition Zero. The last attempt to introduce the weapon to a multiplayer game was the Xbox version of Counter-Strike developed by Turtle Rock Studios. Not much is known development-wise, but 2 heads-up display icons representing the weapon can be found by digging into the game's disk files. At first glance, one may think that these are nothing but the leftovers of 1.6 game files, given a makeover along all the others. However, this theory falls short as the other cut weapons are nowhere to be found. This is further evidence that the weapon was planned for this port but eventually dropped for unknown reasons. As the final version of Condition Zero is essentially a stripped down version of Gearbox's work, very few elements of the latter version made it into the former. Although weapons such as the Tactical Shield, Galil and FAMAS made it into the game, the M60 did not, thus ending the weapon's odyssey that is Condition Zero's development cycle, cut from 3 multiplayer games before ending up in deleted scenes, never to be heard from again in future installments. The idea of an alternate machine gun would eventually find its place in the latest entry of the series, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, as the Negev. With higher damage, rate of fire, and magazine capacity than the M249, it serves as some sort of legacy to the M60 we never got to use.
Alright, now we know what happened to the M60 and why we never got to play it in multiplayer. At least, not in the official parts of the series, because the rather obscure Counter-Strike spin-offs for the Asian market offer the M60 as an unlockable weapon. Nexon's Counter-Strike Online and Counter-Strike Nexon Zombies, essentially the same games, but the latter one is just a Steam version, they both offer the M60 as a craftable weapon. Ein Scheißspiel. Nexon's newest Counter-Strike spin-off, CS Online 2, a game based on Counter-Strike Source, offers the M60 in the in-game shop. It can be bought with cash you earn by completing missions and daily challenges. So in a broader sense, you can still use the M60 in Counter-Strike multiplayer, though it's in the rather strange spin-offs, which are, let's be honest, not to everyone's liking, and at least the first 2 ones are horribly unbalanced.
Excellent. Double kill. Triple kill.
That's it for us today. Once again, thanks to our guest, and if you want to play Counter-Strike Online 2 for yourself, a link to our tutorial video will appear on the right hand corner now. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing and giving us a thumbs up. See you guys next time. Till then, have a nice day, and as always, goodbye and guten Tag.